Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tangle Time Arts. My name is Nana Heron, and I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And we are working our way through Inktober Tangles. This is put out by Stephanie Jennifer, so a big shout out to her. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And on to day 26. And day 26 brings us a fragment, and a square one at that. This is fragment 24/7/11 by Debbie New, CZT. So we are going to explore this particular fragment. Fragments are interesting because they can fit into small spaces of existing tangles, and you can have fragments fitting into different shapes. Like today we're going to do a square, but there's also a three-sided shape, like a triangle, and an orb shape or a circle shape, and also a seed shape. All right, so for today, you'll just need a white tile or a white piece of paper, a black pen, a pencil, and a tortillon. And we're going to look at a couple of different variations of this fragment. All right, so we're just going to put a dot in each corner, way up in the corner, because I do want to leave a little bit of a white space for us. And then we're going to connect that. Like that. And then you can set your pencil aside and pick up your pen. And we are just going to divide this. We're going to actually make a grid. So in the center, like about halfway, and it doesn't have to be measured or anything like that. We're just going to draw a line across. And we're going to do the same on this side. Put a dot there so I can visualize it and go straight across. Once we have that, I actually am going to go over our pencil line because this is a grid. And the squarish fragments are nice because they fit into grids really easily. And then I'm going to divide each of these squares into fours as well. So we'll just run a line this way in half. And then this way as well. You want to rotate your tile and cut these in half as well. All right, so we have 4, 8, 12, 16 little squares here, and we are going to put our 24/7/11 fragment in there. So the easiest way to start with this one is to draw a diagonal line in your square. And then you're going to aura that line, but not all the way across. So you're going to do that on each side. And then you're going to connect the ends. And then you're going to do curves. It's a slight curve. And it's a little bit in from the end of that line. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I try to have some continuity by matching those up. Once you have that in, then I actually like to put an aura inside. So I'm going to do that for every single one of the fragments that we do. And then you want to anchor your curves in there. So I'm going to stick with this for all of these. What I am going to change is the inside of this area here. When you do this fragment, you don't have to do like the anchors here. You could fill in something different. Like you could ink that in if you want to. And you don't have to have this aura here. So you can play around with it, but I'm going to stick with this basic fragment for all of these. And I'm just changing what goes in here. So we'll do 4 of each style. So for the first one, I'm just going to put a heart in there. And then I'm going to ink in the area around it. I'm going to rotate so that I can put in a heart in this one as well. And ink that in. So we have one done. And what's interesting about fragments is depending on which way you position them, you can get other designs within your design as well. So for our next diagonal one, instead of going this way, I'm actually going to go this way. And then I'll put the 2 lines, connect them. Put in the curved line on each side. And this is where I add the aura. And then I'm always going to do the anchors. And the anchors are kind of just like auras of this little line here and this one. All right, and then I'm going to put hearts in it. And even though I'm inking these 3 areas, you might choose to leave those areas white and you might want to ink in the heart instead, but that's up to you. All right, so we're working in groups of 4. So I'm going to move down to this one. And this one is a repeat of this one. I feel fragments are challenging because usually you're working in a small area. So be prepared to really focus on your piece because, oops, just one moment, please. I'll be right back. My apologies. We have guests in the house, so it gets a little busy. All right, so we're inking in this one. And then we're going to move on to this one, which will be identical to this one. So we cut that in half and then draw a line on each side. Finish our ends. Put in our curves. And our auras. And then we can anchor. And add our hearts. All right, so that is fragment 24/7/11 with hearts, which I like a lot. Now we are going to do the same fragment, but change the inside. So we are going to start with a diagonal line again, and then our 2 lines on either side. And then put in the curves. And actually, when we do this part, it's almost like we have a seed shape in here. I'm going to put in an aura because I'm being consistent for all of my fragments. And I'm going to put in the anchors. And then for this one, I think I'm going to add 2 more auras. So there's one and then another. And then I'm going to ink in the little one, the little area. And then this one. like that for a different look. And then we're going to come over here and put our diagonal this way. And now we're just inking in. All right, so now we have to do these two. And this one is going to be the same as that one. Put our ends on. And our curves. We've got a lot of airplanes coming in tonight as well, so I apologize for that noise too. All right, now we'll add some more auras. And fill in. So definitely a lot of detail work here with the fragments. All right, and this one's going to match this one. So put in our diagonal line. Two lines, connect them. Put in the anchors. And then add the auras. All right, so we have two variations there. And then let's see, we can either go here or here. I think we'll go over, let's go over here. So we'll do our diagonal, 2 lines, connect the ends. And the curves. I'm doing auras. And put in the anchors. All right. And for this one, I thought we would just keep it super simple and actually just draw lines throughout it. Always continuing on the other side. So super simple. And then for this one, we go this way. Once you get going, it goes pretty quickly. Because you're just repeating the steps multiple times. And then again, we're just going to do lines. It is possible, if you would like, we could ink some of these in, but I'm going to fill these in first, and then we can decide if we want to ink them in. Okay. All right, we'll do this corner over here. And then we have our last little square in that group of squares. like that. And I think for right now, I'm just going to leave them like that. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the garlic cloves, just a little bit. And then let's go to our last section of 4. And again, we start out the same, always starting the same. And for this one, I thought we would do, um, just run a line down the center and then make these V shapes. And then we're going to ink it in kind of like jonquil. So we do the V shape twice. So I ink one in and then I go to a corner and I ink that one in. And then I have a touching corner here and I ink that in, just like we do with Knightsbridge. All right, so that looks cool. And then we're going to go this way. Put in the anchors. So with the anchors, we're getting this really pretty design in here as well. And that's why I kept those all the same instead of switching out those areas, because you could do different things in those areas as well. But I'm just keeping that all the same. All right, run a line down the center and then 2 V's. I'm always starting in the upper left when I'm inking these. And the same here, 2 V's. So that's cool. And you can also see we're starting to get circle patterns in here as well. All right, now we're going to go down. Let's go down to here and do this one. Oops, I went a little over. I got a little over eager. And draw a line straight down. Right, we just have one more to go. Diagonal line, 2 lines. Curved lines. I am adding an aura on the inside. That's optional. And then the anchors. And let's run line straight through. 2 V's. And 2 V's here. Like that. And I think looking at this, I think I will ink in some of these lines over here, just because there's a lot of drama in these 3 and not so much in this one. So we can put some drama in. So I'm just going to start on the left and ink in. Just being consistent to follow that all the way through though. Then I'm going to skip a stripe and go to the next one. And I don't know if we have the same number of stripes in each of these because I wasn't really counting, but we'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to rotate. Come here to this one. Across the aisle. Finish the other side. And then I have this last one to do. right, yeah, I think that looks better. So we have our fragment, um, 24/7/11 in 4 different variations here. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of shading, just a little bit. Um, and you can take a look and see which one you like the best. I actually like them all, but I'm really fond of this one for some reason. All right, I'm just gonna add a little bit of shading in these areas where we have the anchors. Um, and I think I'll go on the outside first so I don't forget any. So I'm just using my number 2 pencil and adding a little bit of graphite to the points where the anchors all meet. I think I did all 4 sides, so I'm going to go ahead and do that in these areas where we have all 4 meeting. And I'm not adding any color to this one. I'm just letting the black and white drama play out all by itself. All right, now we can take our tortillon and lightly just blend those areas out a little bit. Again, I'm going to do the outside first and then work my way to the inside. If you prefer to do the opposite, you can start on the inside and work your way out. All right, now we're going to work on the inside here. Like that. Oh, I'm losing my pencil. Okay. So we have just a little bit of shading. You could add more shading if you like. I think I'm happy with the way it is right now. If you wanted to, you could run some along the edge, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to rotate around and just look and make sure I got all the shading blended out, and I think I did. So again, we have one fragment, a squarish fragment, in four different ways, but because we did 4 of each, you can start to see these patterns. So we have this through here, and then we also have circles in here that you can see. And if you add more and more, you're going to see more and more patterns, which is super cool. And I think that is all I'm going to do with this because that was really a lot. And I'm glad we inked these in because I think it definitely balances out the whole thing. So I'm going to add my initials somewhere. I think I'm going to tuck my initials in here. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my information on the back, my name, the date. It's Inktober Tangles 2024, day 26. And it is 24711. And I'm going to put in parentheses here fragment so that everyone can remember it's a fragment by Debbie New, CZT. All right. So make sure, especially with this one, that you rotate it and hold it up at arm's length, rotate it around, and really admire how it looks, because no matter which way you rotate it, it looks really awesome. There's no up or down or left or right. It's just a lot of variety, and you've got patterns within patterns, which is fascinating, really. I love it. So fragments, reticula and fragments could be a whole series actually of videos. So this is kind of an introduction. If you like learning about fragments, let me know, and we could do some more of that. But this was really just a basic introduction of what you could do with variations in fragments. All right, another day down. We only have a few more left to go. So I will see you tomorrow. Until then, be safe. And remember, you're doing an amazing job. And I love you guys. Bye.